panels, I think that every team in here have the same goal, which is they want to reduce the number of corruption, but we are the only team who can give you the benefit on the long run. And in here, we will serve you with the perspective not just from the corruptors, but also from the society itself. Before I move on to my argument, first of all, I would like to give some rebuttals to the opposition side of the house. The first one is that the opposition side of the house stated on how that you cannot survive by not being a corruptor, because in their current status quo that we are living in a developing countries, which means that we cannot survive unless we start corrupting. We think that they are justifying the problematic idea of how happiness only rely on money. As the government side of the house, we believe that happiness doesn't only rely on money, but on a lot of things. And then the second thing is that I would like to give rebuttal on how they stated that if we start impoverishing these sculptures, then we will only create more poor people. I think we need to notice that there are two things. That the first one is that those who corrupt, they also create more poor people by taking away other people's rights. And the second thing is that the idea of impoverishment in our house is that those people who corrupted, they and their family could still get access to welfare, but we take 150% from what they already took from the country, and we're also not giving them power in politics. And the last thing is that we also will not give them access to have a saving with lot amount of money on their bank's account. And now moving on to the argument. Ladies and gentlemen, panels, we believe that the impoverishment is the way to give deterrent effect to this corruptor. However, the opening government hasn't explained on how that this impoverishment will significantly reduce corruptors. So, on our side, we will prove that impoverishment actually gives deterrent effect to the corruptor. How? Well, the first thing is that by impoverishing them, other people who want to do corruption can see the impact on the corruptor's family who have been impoverished. Thus, they will think twice to do it because they can see how bad the impoverishment had affected the corruptor family. As we know that family is your number one support system and the closest person to you. So you don't want to see your family struggling, right? So you will think twice to do corruption because you don't want to see your family struggling with economic problems. And then because most people who corrupt are usually motivated to do corruption in order to give their family a better life and more money, but notice on how the people who corrupt are usually coming from middle class with enough money, but they don't live lavishly. But if we start impoverishing those corruptors with these consequences, they can measure and decide that it's better to stay being a middle class and not corrupt, because the impact that we give is really massive, and it will create a problem for their family, not just themselves. The second thing is that why we believe that impoverishment could actually give the deterrent effect to the corruptor is that there are check and balance. By seeing the impact to the family, other family can start preventing their family member to do corruption, because it will also affect their life. Since family is the closest person to you, they're the one who can do checks and balances and make sure that their other family member doesn't corrupt. And the third thing is that if we start doing this impoverishment, then we can solve corruption to the root of the problem. As we can see that the root of the problem rely on money. Corruption started with money, as we know that corruption is a systemic problem, which means that if you want to corrupt, you will most likely need someone's help. And in order to get that someone's help, you will most likely to bribe them with money. So the root of the problem is the access to money that those people have. Because as we can see, even a lot of corruptors who are in jail, they still have privilege to vacation and facilities in their jail, and their family could also still live lavishly. Thus, it doesn't give a deterrent effect, because even if they are in jail, it just seems like they are in a faraway apartment from their rich family. This is a proof of how the criminal justice system under current status quo, under the opposition, isn't working and is not giving a deterrent effect to these sculptures. Thus, we need to impoverish them because money is the source of the power. So if we cut their access to money through impoverishing them, then we can take away their powers, because their powers rely on money. So we can reduce the number of corruption cases. Under our house, by doing this, we believe that we can give benefit to the political system. How? Is that because corruption and politics, they have a really strong connection, because most corruption happen in the political field. As we can see in the status quo, more and more people are joining politics to do corruption, and it has been deeply intertwined with politics. Thus, by implementing this, we can significantly reduce the amount of people who join politics just to corrupt, because they see the impact, which is really massive. So it will close their intention to join politics just to do corruption. So, ladies and gentlemen, from what I already explained before, we can conclude that under our house that the deterrent effect will be more functioning rather than in the opposition side of the house, because in our side of the house we are using two systems at one, which is the jail time and the impoverishment. Unlike the opposition side of the house, who only use the current status quo, which is jail time, which is proven that isn't really giving a deterrent effect to the corruptors. And I can say that I am proud to propose. Thank you.